Archer, welcome back to a full court press. Bam Adebayo just scored 83 points, tying that not even tying. That's the third highest scoring game in NBA history. I was ready to go to sleep. You can look at my hair. I was out praying. I'm in the Ramadan mood, trying to get my spirituality on, and I checked my phone at 11 p.m. and Bam Adebayo has 83 points. I thought this was a joke or a lie. But I watched the game back, and this guy had a 30-point first quarter and a 50-point second and third quarter combined, and then he ends it off. In my opinion, this is the hardest part about it, a 21-point fourth quarter, and that sustainability is just something that we don't see very often in the NBA. Obviously not. We haven't seen a game like this since Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, 71 points and all that, 81 points, highest game since Kobe Bryant. This this is absolutely like absurd. I don't really care what you say about the Heat. They put all their resources into doing this rebuild, and they got rid of Duncan Robinson and Jimmy Butler, and Tyler Hero's not playing. I don't really care. Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points, that's something historical. Um, I'm speechless, to be honest. I think that the NBA should reward Bam Adebayo by boosting up. He was probably already a all third team All NBA center. I think he should be at least a second All NBA, just for this game, because this is history. This is NBA viewership and interest is declining with the general public, with myself even. This is something absurd that you know you don't like. I was just trying to go to sleep, to be honest, and I checked my phone, and now I got to drop an emergency, quick podcast reaction to this. I was planning not to put out an episode for another 2-3 weeks, but Bam Adebayo said, "Hell nah, today's the day. Today's the day." He drops 83 points, and shifts the view on who Bam Adebayo really is. I think this game is going to be remembered as sort of a point to really emphasize that there is players in the league who are not really who are really overlooked, right? And the skill gap in the NBA is so thin that you really think like there's a famous quote from Brian Scalabrine who says that I am closer to LeBron than you are to me, talking to a fan. And I feel like that's so understated, because, and I'm not saying that Bam Adebayo is a bum, but he is like, he is like an all-star, all NBA caliber player. But 83 points is something that's usually done by a superstar. And if we're being honest, we don't usually classify Bam Adebayo as a superstar. But here we are. I don't know, mind blowing. In my case, in your case too, Bam Adebayo should be much higher than what he probably is. We should be thinking pretty well of this man. I don't care. It wasn't shameless. Uh, Getting to 83. If your favorite player was scoring 62 like before the third quarter, you would want them to continue playing, and just see how much they could get. I remember when Dame scored 71, I was thinking, man, he's missing so many threes. He could have got to 100. Uh, but man, Bam was on fire from deep, and it was just kind of crazy. And honestly, it kind of reminds me of what Paolo Banchero can kind of be. If he can just get that shot consistent, I could see this being his peak for Paolo Banchero. But Bam Adebayo, wow, absolutely masterclass from him. I don't think I'll see probably a performance as great as this. Which might be kind of an oversell to other people, but 83 points, like, come on, we might not even like see this. Although it is making it more clear and clear that 100 points is possible. But by the way, this raises the GOAT status of Wilt, because it has taken so many years for people just to come up to 83 points, right? And Wilt, I'm pretty sure he owns number two and number one. Um, for most scoring points. I think he's the greatest of all time, because that dude did this in like the 60s or 70s or something like that. And we're in 2026 still trying to break this record, not being 17 points away as the closest kind of record. That's absurd for me. And yeah, I mean that's really it. There's so much going on in my head right now. An absolutely wild night for the Miami Heat, and man, I'm really excited to see what's going on. The playoffs are coming soon. The NBA is starting to heat up. I can't wait for next season when Dame comes back and we're getting closer to that. It's been so real. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted, but it's been a pleasure. I hope you have a good night.